friends. Yesterday, for part one of our mystery of if you could win a tug of war against a bunch of adults, we learned about forces, how every action or verb that you do has either a push or a pull that goes with it. Today, we're going to continue looking at that force with another interesting experiment that Doug shows us. So check it out, see what's up.
Behind every action, whether shoving, stretching, or yanking, is a push or a pull. Now, if we keep having to say push and pull so much over and over, it's a bit of a mouthful. So scientists like to use a single word for both of them: force. Thinking about things in terms of pushes and pulls, in terms of force, can help you tackle some pretty extraordinary problems. Like this, our next challenge. Could you make a watermelon explode or burst without smashing it and without using a bomb? Using your own body strength to squeeze it, the answer is no, I can't do it. Not even with my feet. Watch. Now, why is that? Why can't I squeeze a watermelon until it bursts using my hands or my feet? You could totally squeeze a water balloon and make it burst. Watch. No problem. So notice how when you go to squeeze the water balloon, like I'm doing with my hands here, at first the balloon is fighting back up to a point. The balloon's outer layer has a certain amount of strength to it. It doesn't burst right away. Watch, you push in on it, and when you let go, you can see it pushes back out. I push in, and then as I let go, it pushes back out. But when you push enough, like what I did when I had my feet on it, your strength is stronger than the balloon's strength. So the balloon bursts and water rushes out. Well, just like a water balloon, a watermelon has an outer layer. We call it the rind. So getting a watermelon to burst is just a matter of using a force that's stronger than the watermelon's rind. Not even my foot can squeeze on it hard enough to do it. But you know what's really good at squeezing? These, rubber bands. Here's a rubber band squeezing on a woman's hair to make a ponytail. If you've got a whole bag of rubber bands here, what do you think? What would you do? Could you use rubber bands to make a watermelon burst?
Okay, discuss. Do you have any ideas for how you could get the watermelon to burst using rubber bands? I mean, a rubber band, it's not that strong. So pause the video and see if you can come up with a way that you could use rubber bands to make a watermelon burst. All right, you ready? Let's find out.
When I squeeze the watermelon, like with my foot against the pavement, sure, I push on it, but it's strong enough, it doesn't give way, it pushes back. It's like a very well-matched tug-of-war between my foot and the watermelon. We need a squeezing force where we can keep increasing the strength until it's strong enough to finally break the watermelon's rind. Well, a couple of guys, Gavin and Daniel, who call themselves the slow-mo guys, they got clever about this using rubber bands. I'll show you now and let them explain what they did.
Hello, Internet. How you doing? Hi, Internet. Yeah. So I saw a crazy Japanese video where people were putting, that's a good shot, putting rubber bands around a watermelon. And I'm quite thirsty for watermelon right now, so we're going to cut one open using the classic Japanese method by the sounds of it. Here we go. Start doing it. Yeah. Hold on. This might take a while. This could take some time. Check out the top as well. And the sides. Oh, it's starting to crack everywhere. Ooh. inspiring. Oh. When? Jeez. Severed it in half. Oh my god! Wow! Oh, that's incredible!
So you see what they did. They started putting rubber bands on the watermelon. Now, just a measly rubber band or two, that's not going to do anything. But each rubber band adds strength. It adds a pushing force on the watermelon. In terms of force arrows, like we've been drawing, we can imagine that with each rubber band, that the arrows pushing inwards are getting bigger and bigger. And so these two guys, they kept going and going and going. And by the time they had over 100 rubber bands on there, that's a lot more force. And so what happened? Boom. All those rubber bands together, those easily overpowered the strength of the watermelon's rind. When we put the rubber bands on the watermelon, they only squeeze on the watermelon because we've stretched them. Stretching a rubber band creates a tug-of-war situation. You have to pull on it, and the rubber band pulls back on you. So here's the next challenge. Make use of a rubber band tug-of-war. But instead of using the force to make a thing burst, use the rubber band's force to make a thing jump or leap up into the air like a frog. You'll find out more about how to do this in the next video.
All right, friends, so that is our science for today. Next lesson, we will be using that rubber band to make a force in that little hopper popper cardboard creature. So be ready for next one where we're doing an experiment. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for joining me.